I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Total Apex Media Podcast, the very first episode. I'm super excited. I'm Corey. I already messed up, but whatever. Here we go. That's the point of the live podcast.
I am Molly the Game Nerd, and I like to talk about games.
I'm Michelle, and I'm presenting your lifestyles topics.
And I'm Andrew. I write for Total Apex Fantasy and Bets and also sports.
Like I said, my name is Corey, and I write for entertainment. So this podcast, let's talk a little bit about it first. This podcast not only focuses on each subject that we, cover, basically, but basically covers everything within pop culture that we are experiencing in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, of course, that we want you guys to do is comment, like, and share on the podcast, on the live stream and whatnot, because we also want to know your opinions about the topics that we talk about on here. Isn't that right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a follow and subscribe might be great too.
Yeah, that's part of the whole like and subscribe. All right, so kicking us off right now, we're going to get very athletic with Mr. Andrew Kim in sports.
Yeah. So the four base games, we got a pretty loaded slate for the NFL this week for Week 11. I would say the first big game would be at 1 on Sunday with the Tampa Bay Bucks going against the Buffalo Bills. The line's at Bills favored by 5.5 at home. The over/under is 46.5. With the Bills, coming off of their major collapse against Miami last week, and Tampa kind of, struggling with due to injuries and things like that on offense. Like, I would probably take the under potentially on this game. It's going to be a back and forth like dogfight, and the Bills are trying to prove that they're better than the Patriots despite their record after they beat the Jets on Thursday night. But the Bucks have enough to play for to lead the NFC South. So yeah, I would probably take the Bills at home for this game. The second game I would take is kind of an interesting one, but it's going to the AFC North with the Bengals at the Steelers, just because the Steelers just lost against the Chargers last week on Sunday night or Monday night. But classic AFC North battle. But this could be a potential shootout because both defenses are just not good this year. So if you play fantasy, you gotta start almost like any starters in that game. With Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, it was like a 40 to 40 plus point game, like 80 point total between the two teams. So I expect another shootout on Sunday. The Steelers at home are favored by 5.5, and it's already a 49.5 over under. So I kind of expect that to go the over again. I think the Steelers do get this one. I don't know if Joe Flacco can pull off two major upsets against the Steelers, just because the AFC North, they usually just split between across all the teams. The third game, which is like it should be in prime time on Sunday night or Monday, but it's not. It's at 4 on Sunday. It's between basically probably the two best teams in the NFL right now with the Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC West division showdown, and the Rams at home are favored by 3.5. It's a 48.5 over under. I would surprisingly take the Seahawks in an away game just because they've been so dominant, but this is going to be must watch TV. Out of any game you want to watch this weekend, those two, they might play each other for the third time in the playoffs. In terms of over under, I think it might be a lower scoring game, so I would potentially take the under just because both teams have very good defenses that could counter the offenses. So that's where I would go there. And um, the final game would probably be the uh, the non primetime games would be the Chiefs going to Denver in an AFC West division matchup where the Chiefs are 3.5 road favorites, and the over under is only 44.5. I actually would take the over potentially just because both defenses have had some injuries, um, and even though Denver's record is one of the top five in the league right now, I think the Chiefs could steal it like they did last year. So that's where I would go with that one. But yeah, that wraps up this weekend's slate of games for Week 11.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, for letting us into the sports. Are there any other sports topics that you feel like that people should look out for this coming week at all?
You mean for other sports or
just whatever the big sports, even if it's betting against Little League.
I have a question. You probably said this in your explanation, but I was trying to parse together like the stats and everything. But which game are you going to be watching?
I'm going to try to for the 4 o'clock specifically, the Seahawks Rams. That is must watch. It starts at 4:05 because it's a West Coast game. But that is, if you can get that game, that is a must-watch game out of the four I talked about.
And who are you going to go for in that team?
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks. Everybody goes for the Seahawks.
All right. It's because they're made of the sea. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, that was Andrew with sports, everybody. And moving on from sports, we are not only here to give you sports, but we're also here to entertain. We're going to bring a little bit of entertainment. First off, Cardi B and Stephen Diggs welcome a new baby boy.
Babies.
Yes, I figured I'd start with this since this is something new. Cardi, of course, announced the birth of her baby boy with Stephen Diggs via Instagram, while also promoting her album, I Am the Drama. And it's literally, I got a question mark on there.
Yeah.
And with a me versus me mindset. So she's prepping right now, not only by giving birth, but she's ready to go back on tour already.
Already? Holy crap.
Right.
Wow.
Well, she's a working mama.
Right. At all. So
That's impressive.
I wouldn't go on tour. Listen, I know people who have had kids and they don't even want to go to work for about a month or two.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah. But I know plenty of people that are like, okay, 6 weeks are up, let's go back to work. So
right.
Kudos to them.
That's her mindset, So she's having to shift, persona, her, public persona and brand, for not only being, who she is in the hip hop world, but to mama as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
No.
I have one thing. Stephen Diggs last night. He actually did Cardi give birth last night? Because I think he actually went to the game and missed her birth, I think. But he had a good game last night, so
he did not.
That wouldn't be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. It's always the moment where you you're in the middle of doing something and something like that happens.
Babies wait for nobody. That's why a lot of people schedule C-sections, okay?
Yeah, they're not terribly convenient.
Goodness. Who would think that we'd be having the sports bringing us the gossip for the entertainment?
Right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
entertainment and sports right there. So
This is true.
That's
This
right.
is true.
We all
So-
overlap.
right. Moving on to the next story. You guys remember Chadwick Boseman, right?
Of course.
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Not only Black Panther T'Challa, aka T'Challa, but he played Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, and more. Well, it has been announced that he is getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
He is?
Yes. This is happening. This is happening November 20th on Hollywood Boulevard. If you guys are in the California area and that LA area, but why so late? Even after the fact that he lost his battle with colon cancer and everything back in 2020. Well, they're trying to they're making this star to kind of symbolize his impact on the culture of not only as an actor, but as as activist and even somebody who sits there and has changed the world through not only his movies, but through everything else that he's done in life.
Yeah, he's very well deserved.
Right.
Very well.
He's
Very
definitely
much so.
missed.
Did you know his last couple of last couple Marvel projects that he did was on the animated series Marvel's What If, where he played T'Challa as Star-Lord.
Oh,
They wanted to spin that off for his own show at some point.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Right.
yeah, I didn't know, but
So we actually get to hear the last recordings of T'Challa, Chadwick, and Chadwick Boseman. That's
Cool.
That's insane. That is insane.
Right. And it's one of those things where it is like it's still a little haunting a little bit. Even like his last film.
It's kind of bittersweet.
Right.
yeah.
I do have a theory though. If Chadwick Boseman was still around, the movie Sinners, I have a feeling that he would have been in that movie at some point.
Would he have been a vampire, or would he have been the vampire killer though?
I think he wouldn't even been I think he would have been one of the main core characters in it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would have survived that. Not at all.
I still have to see that one. I haven't seen it. It's on the list.
It is.
I've only seen reviews of it, but it does look interesting.
Yes. Moving to our next story. Eli Roth is remaking I'm gonna say early 80s, late 90s B movie
Corey.
classic. Yes.
Your images.
Your images.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a creepy picture.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That is a creepy picture.
Ew.
Nightmares.
What is happening
Nightmares.
here?
So Eli Roth is remaking one of my favorite bad movies, of course.
One of your favorite bad movies?
Yes. Called The Ice Cream Man. The original film starred Clint Howard, who is the brother of Ron Howard, of course. And it literally is about a disgruntled ice cream man who starts let's say downsizing the neighborhood children.
Oh my goodness.
And it is kind of filled with a little bit of cannibalism to a little bit of like, oh my God, I can't believe, but it's really cheesy. It's on the same line of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is also getting remade. So the premise of this movie is a seemingly idyllic summer town, this is just a tagline actually, a cheerful ice cream man, and of course horror linking beneath the jingles, which of course, some old school ice cream men have the bell on it. I don't see those ice cream men these days. I see
They
a guy.
drive around the neighborhood sometimes.
Well, I see an ice cream man, an ice cream van that not only sells ice cream, but got hot dogs, churros, stuff, anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I live in an area where if somebody weird is driving around, there's probably going to be a cocking sound somewhere. Because we don't like it in my area. We don't like it when weird cars are making circles around everywhere. So,
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, it's too cold right now for the ice cream man here. So,
taking on the lead role, of course, is Ari Millen. He is taking the lead of the ice cream man, with also supporting cast like Benjamin Brian Davis, Dylan Halco, Sarah Abbott, and more. All right. As far as the music for it, Snoop Dogg is involved with the film. Big
oh,
time.
really?
Yes.
interesting.
Which we're going to probably get
Very.
more of a horror hip hop mash of music on there. It's not the first time Snoop Dogg has been part of a horror franchise, though. So he actually starred in a horror movie called Bones back in the early 2000s, back when he kind of started getting into acting somewhat.
Huh.
Production on the film has already wrapped. It's been wrapped since 2024, September, and will be released. It's set to be released in 2026 by WME Independent and Studio Canal. So everybody look out for the Ice Cream Man. I have a feeling that a lot of with the announcement of this and Silent Night, Deadly Night, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of, I would say, a lot of different movies like that getting remade now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've already tapped into the main horror people already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No more original ideas, huh?
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you.
I'm sorry. I thought this was gonna when I first started talking about this, I thought it was gonna be like a weird combo of Sweeney Todd, that weird dentist movie that Bruce Willis starred in, like way back in like the early 90s, 80s. I don't know when it was. I just remember it was old when I watched it. And kind of like Scary Movie-esque. So like it's serious, weird, creepy, but funny at the same time, I guess you could say.
It looks creepy.
It does look creepy. That dude is nailing the creepy, I'm going to like just eat all your children type of vibe going on. So he's nailing the job.
I wish I could show you guys the original trailer for the first Ice Cream Man movie, because it was back in those days where even the trailer had a plot to it.
I might have to watch it now because I'm just like, really?
I'll think about it.
And lastly, an update news. Ace Frehley, aka one of the founders for the rock band Kiss, aka the Spaceman, he passed away at 74, of course, on October 16th. So now we kind of have an update of the cause of his death.
Okay.
Autopsy, of course, says that the death was caused by a stroke and I'm gonna probably butcher this, subdural hematomia due to a skull fracture from a fall at his New Jersey home.
Subdural hematoma due to blunt force trauma from a fall that he had taken. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So basically, his brain bleed.
Yep. Right.
That's sad.
Kind of reminds me of what happened to Bob Saget a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of getting old. You have to any head bump you actually have to go to the hospital for because of how delicate your bones and your brain is after a certain age.
It's really sad. I actually got to see Kiss live a few years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, they really put on one heck of a show.
I was like about to say, are they as crazy as I've heard they are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much fun. So much fun.
That's scary.
He, of course, this happened back in September when he had the fall. And due to that fall, they had to cancel tour dates because of that medical issue. Ace Frehley will also leave behind a legacy with not only Kiss and his Spaceman persona, but of course being not a major influence on the music, not only just the rock community, but the music community as well.
Yeah. I wonder if someone's going to be filling his shoes in the future or what they're going to do.
It depends on if they decide to keep touring as the band Kiss, because back when the lead singer of Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, I always forget his last name, so forgive me. I am a huge fan of him. I'm just horrible with names. But when he passed, it took them a while to get to their now main singer that they have for Linkin Park.
Right.
But it's like one of those things where you have to give the fans a chance to kind of realize that this has happened. In order for the band to continue, they're going to have to find another singer. So
yeah, there's a grieving process for sure.
Or just another musician in general.
Right. And that's always hard to kind of deal with when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like Linkin Park, I remember saying, like, I remember hearing, the new lead singer and be like, wow, okay, a little cool. I like that song. Whatnot. But that community was
they were mad. I love Linkin Park. I'm a huge fan of them, but I also understood that they have to go a certain direction after his passing because they couldn't stay stuck forever. And I think they picked a pretty good singer now. So
yeah, I almost feel like they intentionally chose someone who's very different so that they're not trying to really replace him, and it's something entirely new. Because that's heartbreaking, and like for Kiss, I mean, they've been a unit for so long. That losing Ace Frehley like that, it's got to be tough on all of them. So
but it happens. It happens throughout history. Listen, you can rock forever and whatnot, and Ace Frehley will be remembered. Spaceman and everything. But times move on. Times, people move on. Things move on. At times, I mean, the what is it? The Allman Brothers. Allman Brothers is a good example and whatnot. They kept that band going even after the fact that Greg Allman's brother died. Greg Allman, I think passed away, if I remember correctly, too.
I think so, yeah.
And they probably kept that going for just a little bit. It's all about legacy on that. But that's it for entertainment, everybody. If you guys want, of course, more entertainment, head over to totalapexentertainment.com. All right, so from moving on from entertainment to putting on your virtual glasses and grabbing your PlayStation or PC, however you play, this is gaming. There we go.
Never mind. I still got to get used to very long pauses, apparently. Okay, so who's ready for some new-ish technology within the gaming community? I say new-ish because it's new for these brands, but not for the gaming community as a whole. So first up, we are going to talk about Sony and their new PlayStation gaming monitor.
Ooh.
Looks all nice and pretty, doesn't it?
They do.
Let's see. We are going to be rocking a 27-inch OHD, if I'm reading my notes correctly, because I can't see anything.
Forgive our technical difficulties on this episode number 1.
Yes, exactly. I don't really. Let me see. Darn you. Anyway, QHD with 120 hertz on PS5 and 240 40 hertz on your PC. Basically, it's going to be kind of like a mid-range. It has mid-range specs, possibly high-end, depending on, I guess, what you want to go with for your PC setup. But it's going to come with a DualSense charging stick. That's where you're seeing the little PS5 controller hang on. And it's basically, if you just want to have something that says, hey, I am the biggest PlayStation nerd in the entirety of the world, then you can actually get this to match your PlayStation setup. And especially since Sony is actually seeming to be building an ecosystem, I guess you could call it that, because they just recently announced that they are creating Pulse Elevate speakers. And they're manufactured in a way that where you can raise them up and position them in all sorts of different fashions for better sound quality and everything. Well, but honestly, if the only reason I would buy it is if I wanted to, just match my color system and my PS system with each other, which I don't. My setup is a hodgepodge of everything. So, let's see.
What I'm wondering is why would I want to buy that monitor if I already have like a Sony anything? Like I have
Sony TV. Honestly, it'll just probably be for. I mean, nobody's really gonna get it over the specs. They're probably just gonna get it over the branding name. The fact that they now have a PlayStation monitor to go with their PlayStation 5 that they're going to get, or the PlayStation Pro, or the newest next gen of PlayStation 6, because that might be coming out in a little while.
Already.
Yeah. Next gen consoles need to get a little bit more inventive when it comes to naming, but I guess we wouldn't love them if they changed the name up. So I guess that's just going to be a me problem. So, and let's see. Pulling into that, we have another take on everything. We have the Steam Machine from Valve.
And that is...
Ooh. We have someone saying hi to us in the comments.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
My commenters. Let's keep going.
And this little cube of wondrousness, I guess you could say, is Valve's answer to the PC competition. Because this is a compact PC console that has 6 times the Steam Deck power at 4K with a 4K at 60 FPS. So it can run 4K and do a 60 FPS on your screen. And if you don't know what FPS is, I don't know why you're even watching the stream in the beginning. Well, frames per second. It's how smooth your image looks. It's how smooth it looks when you're playing.
You got
Thank you, Molly.
His first comic book.
But let's see. It runs the Steam OS, so you would have full access to your Steam library if you were to get this. And they say it has affordable pricing, but in today's age, affordable is
that's relative,
subjective and relative.
Yeah,
I could say, but it's probably going to be about between $800 to $1,000. I guess it just depends on what kind of specs you want. But it basically, honestly, is Valve's next step into the gaming world, because right now we have the Steam Deck, which is their handheld PC.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I want in my future life, because I can't afford the Nintendo Switch right now.
If anyone out there wants to gift us some Steam Decks, we're not going to say no.
No, we're not going to say no.
Feel free to donate to.
Feel free to donate.
Media Podcast.
And this actually, let's see. This is actually Valve's second try at, I guess you could say, living room hardware.
Interesting.
Because the early iteration of the Steam Machine was a big flop. Nobody wanted to really mess with it. And because you have the internet, Steam is on the internet. You can just access it from your browser. You're fine. You can download it.
Right. I'm kind of struggling with why I would even want this, because like I have my great big gaming PC that I install my stuff to. So
honestly, this might be a good answer for somebody who probably doesn't really have the funds. Like, I mean, $800, while a lot, is not a lot in gaming PC terms.
Very
like
true.
If you wanted to, and it's a nice little gateway PC installation, in my honest opinion. It's like, okay, let's try this. Well, I want something that like rocks a little bit more, have a bit more specs than this. So let me try this, and then if it works, I'll go big or go home. But and cosmetics for this thing, you can actually take off the front flap of the Steam machine and replace it with something else. I saw a video of them doing it. It's on their YouTube channel when they're showing it off. But yeah, you can take off the faceplate and put like, I guess, custom faceplates on it. It looks fun. So I'm like, I guess it's a good answer to the whole PC, Steam's PC thing. So
yeah, I mean, Steam's been doing it for a while now too, and it's just taken them a very, very long time because we're all used to Steam,
for sure.
Just being like, oh, something I have on my PC that I can, hop on a website and buy games and stuff. Or, one of my favorite YouTube channels, used to do what they call Steam Roulette, or what was it? Yeah. They used to do Steam Roulette or Wheelhouse and whatnot, and sit there and
which game will I play today that's not going to suck?
Right. That is a big question right there.
Indeed.
But this ties into my next story, where we talk about the new Half-Life 3 rumor. Ta-da! Okay, if you're probably not going to recognize this unless you've actually played Half-Life 2. I think this is the one I pulled from. But basically, Valve had a new unannounced project show up in their database. And everyone since time immemorial, aka 20 years, have been asking and hoping for a Half-Life 3 game. And it's basically become a cult following. Like, we demand a Half-Life 3 game like every century. I guess you could say it's been 2 centuries.
Has it been 2 centuries? Has it been that long?
I don't know.
Because it came out with the orange box, right?
No. Yeah, 2 decades because my brain doesn't want to work.
2 centuries.
2 centuries.
4 score.
4 score and 7 years ago. Yeah, 2 decades. My apologies.
The orange box came out.
Let's see. A lot of fans think that with this new Steam machine rollout, they're kind of like maybe advancing to the fact that they're bringing out Half-Life 3. Because in the sense of Valve hasn't really confirmed or denied that they are producing and creating Half-Life 3. And that's just giving everybody like the hope that it will be coming out soon, because Valve has a tendency to pair hardware with bringing out new flagship games and titles.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hoping for Half-Life 3, but honestly, I think it's just going to be another game that Valve has just created a new IP.
So this is Schrodinger's game. It both does and does not exist.
Exactly. It's Schrodinger's game.
Ooh, you just gave somebody a great idea for a new game. You need to make sure you put your TM on that one.
TM. It belongs to Total Apex Media.
The trademark.
Total Apex game.
Let's see. And the next one, we'll actually go somewhere different. If you are an esports fan, then you should know that the League Champions Series is coming back to the esports competition for its naming purposes, I guess you could say, after being called the League of the Americas for a while. And if you aren't an esports fan, basically this is the League of Legends championship games that they'll play to go into the Worlds, which we are currently seeing the ending of and have been seeing competitions for throughout the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And they are a lock-in tournament where they have best of 3 and a fearless draft. Our sports person will probably be filling me in on everything that has to do sports terminology, because this goes over my head. I just thought it was interesting that they transitioned back from LTA to LSC, basically their anagrams or initials. Let's see.
So I never really got what is the appeal of esports? Is it just like people playing Call of Duty or any sports game? Like, what are they like? Is it like the movie Wizard? Is it like the movie Wizard, where you sit there and play Super Mario Brothers 3 in order to win a competition?
Well, basically, but then again, what's the appeal of sports?
Well, what is it? A popular esports game I kind of just like play just for fun with my friends is Rocket League. But it's kind of like soccer with cars. It's very competitive.
Yeah, you don't understand how competitive these competitions are. Like, these guys train like actual athletes to become the best of the best, right? And it can get very heated, let me tell you that. It's just that it's still not as prevalent as physical sports, I guess you could say, that a lot of people really outside of the gaming community don't really recognize it or something and all that. Like, it doesn't get broadcasted on, traditional sites. You actually have to go to the League of Legends.
Like on ESPN 300 or whatever.
Yeah. But let's see, where are they going in? They'll bring back the spring and summer splits, with a round robin best of 3 with double elimination playoffs. My southern accent doesn't allow me sometimes. And it's going to align with the Europe's version. Their LEC for consistency. So what's it called? The league, probably the European Championship. I just don't know what the first one is. But there's some excitement from the community that there are no more best of ones, but the question is about the talent drain, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Basically, they're doing a structural reset and hoping that the viewership will help revive the LCS, and because it's been like underneath the LTA name for such a long time. But that's all I got for. Sorry, I don't really watch esports, even though I am like a huge gaming nerd. I just don't watch sports in general. Competition is not my forte. I try to stay away from it as much as I can. But it's fun to watch people's reactions to it. I do enjoy that much. But that's all I have for gaming. And if you want to know more, we have all these in article form at totalapexgaming.com if you're interested.
All right. Well, thank you, Molly, for all the gaming knowledge. I didn't know anything about you. So the closest I've gotten to any kind of esports thing was probably a show that I did, and we had like an esports person on. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
As much as I dislike, watching the competition in general, it's very fascinating because these athletes, as you can say, they are athletes in a sense, have just gone out of their way to be the best of the best in these circles. And I've watched some of them, and it's just this huge thing.
Right. All right. Well, from the gaming life to living life, here is Total Apex Living with Michelle.
All right. Thanks, Corey. So we actually are going to start off today with some recalls. We actually had quite a few that we reported on the website. And you can find our lifestyles articles also on totalapexentertainment.com. So we've got some flames there because we've got some things that are catching fire, but we'll get to those in just a minute. First up, there is a recall for some ADHD drugs. So everybody knows somebody who's taking something for ADHD or someone who has ADHD. But if you are taking, and I am going to have a hard time with this word, is lisdexamphetamine dimesylate. It is the generic version of Vyvanse. And these are being recalled because they're not dissolving correctly. So it's not a risk of serious harm. It's a low risk, but still, if you take this drug, it would be coming from this is from some Sun Pharmaceutical Industries, 100 count bottles. They're 10 milligrams to 70 milligrams. So if you are taking that drug, check with your health provider. Don't immediately stop taking it because that would be very bad for you. But communicate with your doctor and find out about an alternative or have them get you a new prescription, something like that, to get that taken care of. Our second recall is actually pretty scary. So this one is ByHeart, that's ByHeart, whole nutrition infant formula. Now this one's very, very serious because this product is being recalled for botulism and babies are actually being hospitalized. So this is super serious. Babies have been getting sick, and because botulism is basically there's these spores that are in the formula. It gets into their digestive system and it turns into toxins and attacks their nervous system. So this one is super important. There are a couple of affected lot codes. So definitely check into the ByHeart website or call 855-44-BYHEART for a refund or for that. It's pretty bad. So if you notice your baby experiencing any symptoms like constipation, a weak cry, poor feeding, or loss of head control, these are the symptoms that they're seeing. Get that baby to a doctor because if you've been using this formula.
So basically, they need to look for forms of paralysis within their infant.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Still in the neighborhood of children, we also have a toy recall. Plush alpacas that could cause a choking risk. These particular alpacas were made by a company called Inkari, Inkari, and they've been around since 2020 and sold through mid 2025. There's a whole rainbow of them, and they went from $25 to $100. And the problem is their eyes. The eyes may become detached, and if a child eats the eye, they could choke. Oh. So if you have these stuffed alpacas, basically stop using it, take it away from the child, and
the eye.
Right, take the eyes off maybe if you want to keep the toy. I don't know, it's up to you. Consumer Product Safety Commission has all the details on their website. You can find the article on our website as well.
That's one of those things where, like, if it's a recall toy, you already know that kid wants that toy.
Exactly.
That is now your child's favorite toy.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. So as a parent, you have to make your own choice here. But if you're concerned about the danger of choking from the detaching eyeballs, take care of that.
It's like your little friend is just going on a little trip. Don't worry.
That's right. Now, for things catching fire, Belkin, we know them for their wireless charging banks and things that we carry around to keep our phones and things charged. So they have some power banks and wireless chargers that are wireless charging stands that are apparently spontaneously combusting. So the lithium ion batteries inside of these things may overheat and cause fire. So there has been a report of a fire in the US and 15 internationally. So these actually have had a problem. Are we thinking about Samsung smartphones? Yes, we are. So there are about 83,500 units in the US and another 2,385 units in Canada that were sold. So if you have the charging stand model number MMA008 with a serial number beginning with 57X, or power banks model numbers BPB002 or PB003, those are hard to say. You may want to check with Belkin, their website, for those recalls.
Methinks next time we need to get like these little words that pop up when Michelle's saying them, so that people can read them as she goes.
I started out making images for every single one, but then there were too many. There's 8 of them. Also catching fire, the Tesla Powerwall 2 home batteries. These are the kind of things that you have outside your house to use with your solar panels. And apparently some of them are catching fire. So if you have these Powerwall 2s, you'll want to check on that recall as well. We have an article on our website on all of these for more details. If you have a Peloton bike, 878,000 of those have been recalled because you might fall off because there's a defect with the seat post. So the post can crack or break during use and cause you to fall down unexpectedly. There haven't been any reported injuries, but if you have the Peloton Original Series Bike Plus, model number PL02, sold between 2020 and April of 2025, you're going to want to check on that. They are offering a free replacement seat post to affected users. So just stop using it, contact Peloton, they'll replace the bit. You can fix your bike and keep on going.
Do you mean the post that, the seat kind of slides into the Peloton?
I think so. I think that's what they're talking about, is the post that the seat's on top of.
Wow.
Well, and there have
been cycling and then woo!
Okay. I mean, let's hope it's only those injuries that occur. Because every time I hear about a bicycle seat related accident, I go, okay,
yeah.
Let's hope it was just a fall over.
You're cycling in your house to avoid injuries, and then
you still get injured
anyway.
So that boy will be fine. Listen, just tape it up.
So wear your helmet, your knee pads, your elbow pads while riding your Peloton, I guess, is the message here.
Well, you're supposed to wear a helmet whenever you ride a bike anyway, so there you go.
So then we do have some cars in recall. Of course we do. Toyota is recalling Tundra and certain Tundra and Lexus vehicles. The issue here is that apparently when these particular cars were being manufactured, some crap got inside of the engines, and that stuff knocking around in the engine can apparently cause these things to stall while you're driving. So picture yourself driving on the expressway and all of a sudden your car just stops.
You're just free falling.
That could be dangerous. Mm-hmm. So that's the 2022 to 2024 Toyota Tundra, the 2022 to 24 Lexus LX600, and the 2024 Lexus GX550. So check with your manufacturer. You probably will get a notice, but it's a good idea to check anyway. Mm-hmm. And the last of our recalls is we do.
We live in a dangerous world.
This is the Honda Civic. And there are 6 Honda Civics. Do you have one?
No, but I know friends who have had them.
Andrew's gonna take notes.
Andrew, save your friends.
These are model years 2016 through 2021. And the issue is with the 18-inch alloy wheels. So steel inserts inside the lug nuts were not pressed in correctly. So the lug nuts can loosen and your wheel could detach.
Oh, that's bad.
It is very bad. So there is actually a possibility of death here because if you're driving your car and your wheel falls off while you're going 70 miles per hour, bad things are going to happen. Does anyone head to Honda's website and check your VIN number.
Does anyone remember Ron White, the comedian?
Yeah.
Do we remember he missed Lug Nut Day at the Sears Lug Nut schooling of tire replacements? That's okay. I'm paraphrasing, but Ron White had this whole joke about how his tire fell off his car because the mechanic that was supposed to change it forgot to tighten all the lug nuts.
Oh my goodness!
Somebody didn't show up for Lug Nut Day at Sears School.
Yeah, well, Honda, they had apparently some situations there with those lug nuts. So, so stuff is on fire, toys are falling apart, drugs aren't dissolving like they're supposed to, and just all kinds of havoc happening with our stuff. But like I said, you can see all this on our website and more. We're always reporting the recalls. All right, so let's move on to something a little bit more happy. It is Native American Heritage Month, all month of November. So all across our website, we have many articles to celebrate. And one of them is Indigenous fashion that you can shop for ethically. So when you're buying your clothes, you'll see Indigenous patterns, Native American patterns on clothes all the time. But this is stuff that you can actually buy that is designed and sold by actual Indigenous people. The image that you're seeing there are from B Yellowtail, and I will probably mispronounce this one, Ginew, Ginew. And these are just 2 of the clothing stores online that we talked about. And B Yellowtail is actually run by Northern Cheyenne and Crow Nation Native Americans. And so this is apparel that's been inspired by their storytelling. And it is handcrafted garments. So you are going to see the prices are going to be a little bit higher here, but keeping in mind, this isn't fast fashion. This isn't mass manufactured stuff. This is going to be quality garments that you're going to have for a while. And then Ginew, I included them in the images because they are the only Native American owned denim label. So they use sustainable materials and traditional designs, and they include symbolic stitching and patterns. And so it's very well crafted clothing as well. And there are many others out there. We actually have 7 or 5 of them, I can count, that we featured. Others including Magpie Goose, which is actually based in Australia. They're not Native Americans, but they are Aboriginal artists. And then Indigenous, which is a company that collaborates with worldwide artisans to create organic fashion. So also a great one to take a look at. And Urban Native Era, their stuff frequently, most of their stuff has labels that says you are on native land. So you can get clothing, you can get things like keychains and stuff like that with the you are on native land logo. So it's really cool. But definitely check those out. And the article on our website is Indigenous Fashion You Can Ethically Shop. So check that out for all the links so you can find that stuff yourself, because these clothes are really, really beautiful. And I'll be adding some pieces to my closet when I can afford them.
Mm-hmm.
And the last up for lifestyles, Mercury is in retrograde. And for anybody who follows that sort of thing, you know that this throws things out of whack. We have a lot of anxiety.
We always blame Mercury.
It's Mercury's fault. So we've got some mishaps, some delays, miscommunications, all kinds of things with this crazy energy that's going on. So, but there are some things you can do to turn it around and make it positive. And you can find this article on our website as well for all of the information behind this. But some of the lessons are slow down to move forward. So you don't have to rush forward. Just slow down, take your time, get things ready, and basically go through with more intention. Don't bull rush ahead. Revisit things that you've left unfinished. Reflect before you react. That we can probably all do a lot of the time. Stop and think before you react, because that first reaction, and I experienced this yesterday, is not always the correct one. So take some time to think it through and decide what the best response is going to be there. Reconnect with people who matter. Rethink your story. So basically just think about the recurring theme through your life, what's coming up, do some journaling, think about your life and what's going on. Take some time to rest your mind and energy. And finally, review, revise, and realign. So definitely check out this article on our website. It's a really good one. And I highly recommend going and finding that one on for a good read, especially since we're dealing with that retrograde Mercury right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle. And of course, if you're looking for living stuff, you can also head over to Total Apex Entertainment. All the links, of course, are in the description that you guys are currently watching right now. I have some exclusive news, and this is more for somebody who's been talking about Labubu in our meetings.
Labubus.
And I wanted to make sure this get on here. Sony has picked up the film rights for Labubu movie.
Oh no!
Okay,
closed a deal. It's of course the same home of Jumanji and K-pop Demon Hunters. So far, there are no producers or filmmakers attached to it, but Sony wants to be in the Labubu business.
I mean, Care Bears had something. Furby kind of had something, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but have you seen a Labubu? They're kind of scary.
I mean, coming from somebody who thought Furbies were demon incarnates in disguise, everything like that looks like scary nightmare fuel to me. So, Labubus just actually look it.
Right. They're not hiding their demonic energy.
Exactly.
Right. I just thought I had to throw that in there just because we know.
Mm-hmm. Sony, you have disappointed me.
Lord.
Labubu, the movie.
The movie. Good grief. All right. Well, that is it for Total Apex Media Podcast, everybody.
For this week.
Yes.
Yes, we'll be back with more craziness next week.
We will definitely be back with more crazy news. If you want to, of course, find us, head over to each one of our websites, which are in the description now. You can also hit us up on our socials. Me, EpsWorld, ENTA over on Instagram, and EpsWorld87 on X.
Me at Molly the Game Nerd on all my socials of X, Twitter, or X, Blue Sky, and Instagram.
And you can find all my socials by going to michellekits.com.
I'm on Twitter at CookieKim1357 and on Instagram KimAndrew1357.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.